Hey, hello, and welcome to this new video today, all about the Healy. I'm so excited to share with you my experiences and kind of like my review of my results after 1 week of using the Healy. And before we jump right in, I would love for you to be part of this community. And if you would love to be notified and get more videos whenever I upload them, and then please be sure to subscribe down below and also click the bell button, because only then you will actually get a notification when a new video is up. I'm filming several new series, one about the Healys and the results that I get with it, and maybe I'm also going to interview more people who have been using the Healy for longer. I will also do a lot of stuff around that in my group on Facebook, which is called Energy Masters. There's a link down below in the comments, so be sure to be part of Energy Masters on Facebook. And I will also do more Starseed videos. I've started last week a series on Starseeds and on all of the things around Starseeds and the issues that we face and what we want to do and how to tip more into our light and into our purpose to serve the world. And that is also launching, and it's already been, well, I already have filmed the first episode that you can watch. Also, there's a link to that episode below, or simply just go to my channel where you find all of those. But let's jump right in. It's all about the Healy. So I just wanted to share, and maybe you can see here we have the Healy. Just attached it to my top, and that is the Healy device. And the Healy device is a quantum frequency device. Now I can't get back to my original camera angle. Doesn't matter. Apologies, guys. Maybe I cut it out. Maybe I won't. But yeah, so this is basically the first week that I've had the Healy for like an entire 7 days. And I just wanted to share about the amazing experiences that I've had personally so far, because I've been talking about the Healy for quite a while now, and I've done so much research into this product. And I'm not all about products, you know that. I'm all about energy work and psychic stuff and starseed stuff and ascension and frequency and inner work and emotional alchemy and all of these amazing things. So it's all about wisdom and mystery and magic and all of these good stuff. But the thing is that when we live in a world where there's so much negative interference, where at this point, unfortunately, we still have that on the planet, where there's so many different streams of energy, especially now, in case you haven't noticed. I know you guys have, but we are in a huge major shift. We're in the quickening, we are in the great awakening. And so that means that we are going through a huge birthing process, because we're birthing new earth. And so there's a lot of interference from maybe, streams that don't want us to thrive and be free and, be sovereign and do all of the amazing things that we came here to do, right? So like we're constantly tested how much we can actually align with all of our bodies and bring those in coherence and consistency and harmony, so that we can actually manifest more powerfully and live a life that just blows your socks off, basically, right? Because that's what we came here to do. But we're creating this new earth right now, and I feel something like the Healy is such an amazing thing to help us get that balance, get that harmony, because so many people struggle with their health, so many people struggle with their mindset, so many people struggle with their emotional body. And I know, because there's so many people who I work with on a daily basis, and it is not always easy to get all of these things in alignment and to get all of these things healed and working and being at our best, when we have so many negative influences still from the outside world coming in, okay? And I'm all about empowerment, and so what I've really felt for myself is that my energy practice, all my energy tools, my emotional tools, the energy work that I do, the psychic work that I do, gets amplified when I work with quantum frequencies. I've been working with quantum frequencies since about 2015. But the Healy is a whole different story. Like, the Healy is a totally different game. And because the Healy really adjusts the frequencies to you individually, okay? Because it is so smart and is so advanced. And like, we're moving here into the work of like Nikola Tesla and all of these kind of things. There will be more on that coming out actually in October, but we can't say more right now. But just stay tuned, it's going to be so good. And the thing is that when we have those things in place, all of the other things that we do, the inner work, the alignment, the emotional work, gets so much easier. Okay, I know so many people who work so hard on themselves and that just can't seem to make any kind of progress. I'm just gonna pop that back on here. So I don't have to hold it. But sometimes it's really disheartening when people work so much on themselves and actually they transform and they shift, but there's still so much stuff going on in their lives that still constantly they're being thrown off kilter. Okay, and obviously with all of the manual stuff, let's say manual stuff that we do in the energy realm and the emotional realm, we do see progress, right? But when we have a device like the Healy, which is completely unprecedented on the entire market, then we can have so much more deep support. And I've seen that in this week, in which I've been able to just work with it on a really deep kind of like level myself. And I've really put the Healy to the test because it's been a very challenging week. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of background of how my life has been for the last week and how I incorporated the Healy and the results that I got from that. Okay. So this past couple of months, I have been looking a lot after my mom because she had a lot of health issues. My dad passed away about 2 years ago, and ever since she had tons and tons of health issues, like one big thing after the next. And it is really disheartening to see when a loved one can't function at their best physically, mentally, emotionally, all of these things, right? And she has had quite a lot of surgeries over the last year and a half, and she needed to have more. And this time it was for kind of like skeletal stuff, like knee replacement and all these kind of things. So we've been strained a lot, right? There's so much going on, so many hospital runs, so many times driving around to the doctor. And so I was assisting her and looking after her post-surgery for an entire week. And she was in a lot of pain and there was a lot of stuff going on. And the Healy has really helped me to, first of all, remain centered, remain in a high vibration, and also have the physical energy myself to go through that, assisting my mom and all of the other stuff that went on in our family, and just being there to support everyone as much as I humanly can, okay, without running myself down, right? So that is one thing that the Healy has done. And I've used a lot of the gold cycles from the Healy. I used a lot of the care, the nourish cycles, the relax cycles, and especially the balance cycle of the Healy Gold has helped me so much over this week. And there were a few situations where there were a few meltdowns and I could hold space for those two people who like melted down basically, and I was able to be there and just be with them without freaking out or without yelling or any of that kind of stuff. And I know a lot was due because it was very easy for me to keep my inner harmony, to keep my inner balance, and to really keep at my best with these Healy programs. I also used it on my mom. So that's the other thing that I want to say. I didn't really have had a chance to use it on my mom extensively, but we used it a little bit every single day for most days that I was able to look after her after post-surgery. And every single time she came out of a program, she said, oh, I feel really good now, actually. I feel really good. And that is in a week where most, patients of this type of surgery are just in bed with a lot of pain. Okay, I'm not gonna say like everything just resolved because of the Healy, just like with one application, because that wouldn't be true, but it made the experience for my mom so much better. And again, like my mom is not typically someone who is like, oh yeah, I'm into all of this woo-woo stuff, or I'm into quantum frequencies and all of course it's not just woo-woo. In the Healy there's tons and tons and tons of science, and there's a lot of scientific resources as well. If you want some of those, I can actually send those to you. Just let me know below in the comments. But even she was saying afterwards that she got a lot out of it, and we've just started. Like when she gets back, she's now on rehab. When she gets back, we're gonna do a heck a lot of more stuff, and I'm sure she's going to get even more results from it. Okay, but yeah, just her saying that was a very big testament, because normally she's not as open as I would love her to be. Me doing all of this energy work and psychic stuff and energy healing and you know what. And she's not quite into all of these kind of things. But with the Healy, it is very easy, because you don't really have to do a lot of things when you use the Healy. Basically, everything that you do is you put on the bracelets, and there's also, you can use what are they called, ear plugs, or not ear plugs, like ear clips, that you can plug onto it. For some programs they are a little bit better, for some programs the wristbands is better, and if you work with a Healy resonance you don't need the wires at all. But that's kind of like how it works, and there are different versions and all of that kind of jazz. But all of this has their place, and it's really, really, really amazing. So this is kind of like how it works. You kind of like plug it onto your wrist, and you turn the Healy on, and then you have an app on your phone that you can get access to once you buy the Healy, and then you choose the program that you would like to run. They have phenomenal programs, like even just in the most quote-unquote basic versions of the Healy, which are, by the way, they're not basic at all, they're super damn advanced. Sorry for swearing. They're super advanced actually, and there's so many in them that I didn't even have the chance. For example, in the Healy Holistic Health, in this entire week, I've not had a chance to go through all of those. Okay, so this is how much of an amazing spectrum you get. Not even potentially have the full version. Like just even like the kind of like the, I'm not going to say the lower versions, but the more basic versions, even though they're not basic, but even those, they have so many programs that you get to run and get to benefit from. So that's really, really, really brilliant and really amazing. The other thing that I want to share is something around my skin. If you've known me for a long time, historically, like several years ago, or up until several years ago, I struggled with a lot of skin issues. I would have skin infections, acne, really, really crazy stuff with my skin, eczema, psoriasis, and rosacea. So it took me a very long time to heal all of that. Luckily, I've healed it about 5 years ago, and ever since I've pretty much been skin condition free for the most part. But I did have, on a few occasions, I had skin infections, or rosacea come up when I was eating foods that I know are not good for me, but somehow they came in, or was like away, and I couldn't kind of like control it all that much. And I actually had that happen over this last week, where it was really stressful. And I had something sneak in that I wasn't quite aware the amounts of that I was having in the food that I had. And it was a little bit too much, and so I got a skin infection. And usually when I get a skin infection, it's all over the chin. It's super raw. It is like, it's huge. It's inflated. It looks quite awful, and it feels horrible because it stings like if you pinch needles directly into raw flesh. This is how it feels like, and it's oozing a lot. Sorry for being very descriptive here, but it's just, let's say it's very, very awful, painful, and ugly. And it puts a strain onto the entire body, because then obviously the entire body tries to cleanse itself and get rid of it and flush all of that stuff out, all of the dermatoxins coming out of the skin. It's not a pretty thing, not a pretty sight, and not a pretty thing to feel and go through. But I've used the Healy, I've used the skin programs and the wound programs. For the Healy, I've also used the bacteria programs, because I know it has to do with streptococcus, which is a bacteria, and I also know that it has to do with the liver, and a couple of other things in the body that are strained. So I was running exactly those programs, the skin, the wound, the balance, the liver program, and a few others, and I rotated them and just intuitively went with it as well. I'm really good into tuning in intuitively what I need, and normally these types of infections, skin infections, for me take about a week. Now, it was gone, almost gone completely after the third day, completely gone after the fourth day. And normally I have 7 days of really intense rawness, itching, pain, oozing, all of that kind of stuff, like at least for 7 days. And with a Healy, I managed to cut that into half. Okay, and that is just me beginning my work with a Healy on the skin. Like if I use it more systemically for longer, obviously the effects will be more profound, because not everything can be turned around just overnight. Some things take a little bit longer, but just with this, which is a really deep issue, and it affects a lot of different organs in my body. The lymph is inflamed, not inflamed, but the lymph is affected, the liver is affected, and there's kind of this big bacterial breakout basically that causes the infection. I know all of these things because I've I've researched for so long, and I healed it basically. But again, when I have something that is not ideal and I have a little bit too much of it, and sometimes you can't always control that, especially if you eat food from other people, and then this comes, and it's like the Healy has been just simply amazing for helping me get rid of that, especially because when I have these skin conditions, I usually feel very stressed, because it's the pain and the itching and the pinching is very agitating and very aggravating as well, and you usually don't really get a lot of sleep, and my body feels rubbish because it's trying to fight all of these dermatoxins, all of this bacteria, overwhelm, and all of these kind of things. And usually I don't have energy, my mood is down the drain, and normally my vibration is also whoop, right, when I have these skin infections. And I just know that because I've had them so many times. I know exactly what my body does, what's going on in my body. But this time it was different. I was able to keep my vibration high, I was able to keep my energy high, and I was able to be there for my mom and for my family when they actually needed me a lot, and when I was tied in with stuff that I needed to do to support, 12 hours a day basically, on top of the other things that I do. So that was a week of really testing the Healy hard, really testing it. And again, it's balanced my being in a way where I was completely able to hold my focus, to hold my alignment, to hold my vibration. I was able to very easily do my inner work, my emotional work tools, also my energy work tools. I didn't get to do my meditations and my energy alchemy stuff to the degree that I wanted to, just simply because of lack of time, being engaged with my mom and all that kind of stuff. But it's, the Healy balanced it out, and that was really powerful. And the stuff that I did get to do in the time that I had available was even more profound. So yeah, that is basically the first week of me working with the Healy. There are many more things that I could bring into this video, but I don't want to make it too long. Let's just see whether there's anything else that I managed. Yeah, just a lot of energy. I had a lot of energy even at the end of a very stressful day. But I was then still able to go to sleep and to, because sometimes when you're very like in demand and your body is really strained and there's a lot going on, the adrenals will kind of like push up kind of like adrenal production, and then you will, when you're actually very tired and need to go to bed, you will get this adrenal surge, and then that keeps you from sleeping. That didn't happen at all in this week, where normally I would have that quite often. And also I had a lot of days where I had to go to bed very late, but then I had to wake up very early. And normally I'm this type of person, I'm rubbish. I'm rubbish when I don't have enough sleep, and everyone can feel it and I can feel it, and I just don't feel like a human being. I just feel like walking around like a zombie and being just very frazzled and very sensitive to light and to energy and to noise even. Like I'm super sensitive when I don't have enough sleep. And there were several days in this week where I didn't have enough sleep and where I was then using kind of like the healing programs like Balance or Care or like some of the sleep programs, and that really optimized my energy to a degree where I didn't have to walk around like a zombie, and I could actually function very, very well with really good energy levels and sustainable energy levels. So that is kind of like the last thing that I want to say, that I could kind of like feel or experience in this week, and just share with you guys. And yeah, that's basically everything. And I'm so, so, so impressed by this little device. It has a huge place in my heart because it's already changed my world in so many ways. And I don't say that lightly. Normally, my jam, as all of you guys know, is energy work, emotional work, energy alchemy, all of these kind of things, which is brilliant. But this little thing here, this amplifies it even more. And actually, the cycle that I've been running, it just ended. It ran for about an hour, and now I can just, integrate those frequencies and, just have them, be present in my body. And if you are someone who maybe is new to the Healy, or maybe you've heard of it, but you don't really know what it's all about and you would like more information, then please do let me know. Leave a comment below, or even better, send me a message on either Facebook or Instagram. You can find my handles also down in the description, and just let me know whether you would like to know more. The Healy has a really, really powerful quantum frequency technology behind it that I'm not going to go into in this video. I gave it a little bit kind of like a very brief, super brief introduction in the beginning, but I will do more videos about this, what it actually is, what it does, and how it works, and all of the stuff that you can do with it, because there's a huge spectrum that you can do with the Healy, or you can work on with the Healy. So it is not just kind of like some limited, restricted device, because there are quite a lot of other kind of like quantum technology or microcurrent technologies out there, but they only serve like a small and limited or restricted kind of like field. But the Healy is really, really expansive in that way. And one fun fact that I will say before I go is that I actually started to work with the Healy before the actual physical device was here. Was tapping into the energy and the frequency of the Healy in the quantum field. And I worked with it that way, and it gave me a lot of energy, a lot of really, really, really amazing insights. And actually several people from my team who've also started to work with the Healy did the same thing before it arrived physically with them, and they were able to resolve stuff and just have that quantum frequency there ready and available for them, even though the little machine wasn't even there, okay, because it was still being shipped. So that is something that I also will mention, and that is probably something that you guys, like as starseeds or as energy workers, can understand a little bit more. Like if you say that to kind of like just a mainstream 3D person. No offense, you know, all due respect, but when you say to someone who's maybe not into these kind of things, they probably won't understand so much. But I know that you guys have a bit of a background, and you know what I'm talking about. And I've been intuitively guided to the Healy as well. One of my best friends shared it with me, but even before I knew that quantum technology was coming, I felt it intuitively. I knew about it, and then I got the confirmation from another psychic as well. But there was like no one knew what the name was or what the company was, and then it arrived in my life via a beautiful dear friend of mine. And I just feel so blessed that I get to work with the Healy, that I get to share the Healy with you guys. We have been starting to grow a really, really beautiful team. So the Healy is all about health, wellness, well-being, personal growth, personal development, abundance, and really creating this new quantum realm. You know, I'm bringing this, you know, 3D era to an end, and really ushering in this new Earth, 5D environment where we get to really express ourselves from the heart and the soul. And I feel the Healy's playing a big part in that. So if you want to have more information, then do let me know. Send me a message on Facebook or Instagram, and I'm sending you all of my love. Please like and subscribe the video, and please share this video and share the technology or the information with other people who you think could be interested in benefiting from all of that, because yeah, it's become a really big intention and desire for me to help bring this technology to more people, because it's so mind-blowing, it's so wildly beneficial and beautiful and benevolent, and all of really the things that I want to stand for. And I want to, you know, help people make this available for themselves and for others. So having said that, I'm sending you all of my love, and take care. Bye.